good. Get him out. Chris Hughton is experienced. He has come. We are still seeing the same problem.
So Daniel says there are too many things that we are complaining about, and yet the problems persist. So where is the problem from? For me, that's because Daniel basically is saying, don't blame the players, don't blame the team selection, don't blame the coaches. So, but somebody has to take the blame because clearly it's not working.
Don't blame the players. I'm saying there's certain players who consistently get the stick for every bad performance.
Okay, we should spread the blame.
Stop. Because there are equally people in the team who are also not performing. But I've mentioned Partey.
What has he done?
When you watch, we've seen Partey play for this Black Stars before. We saw Partey under.
They said if you had the worker, they said it was instruction.
They said it was instruction.
Yes.
It will always be another reason. But for another person or another group of people, they are just bad.
Let me come to you, Sicho. Like you said, he says so many things, but he says like all of the blames on those things. Don't consistently blame only certain players. I think I agree with that because it seems some players get more stick than others. He also says there might be an issue with the attitude of the players, especially in the game against Madagascar. But he says we've been impatient with other coaches in the past. A new coach has come, still same problem. Why are the problems persisting? Even though they are changing personnel, like he indicated, we brought in new players, replace some players, it's still not working.
Listen, I think mentally, a lot of these players are not there yet for the level of the Black Stars.
Interesting.
And what it comes with. I think a lot of them are struggling to deal with the pressure that Ghanaians, we like to play a certain way. We want the game to be beautiful. We want to win games. And I think many players are not living up to it. And it's surprising, really, because some of them are playing at a very high level. And you're thinking that maybe they are hiding behind others to perform at their clubs. And when they come to the national team and they have to step up as leaders, they've not been able to do it. I think that mentally, a lot of the squad players are struggling. Listen, Salis, you can't come off the season you've had and come and play against Madagascar and not boss the game.
Was he that poor?
He was extremely poor. He can't progress the ball. He can't pick a forward pass. He can't get past players. In midfield, it was lethargic. There was nothing in his game but he would get the pass, right? Because everybody loves him. Thomas Partey, you cannot play in the Premier League and finish in second place, only behind City, a team that won the treble. Play in the quality of play, around the quality of players you play with at Arsenal, and come to the Black Stars.
And be consistently in the argument of the best DM in the world.
Yes, and not come to the Black Stars against Madagascar with the greatest respect to them, and not grab the game by its neck and dominate the midfield. It's unpardonable. Kamaldeen Sulemana, you can't have the number of minutes you have with the Black Stars and not show any level of improvement. Pencil, you can't score the number of goals and show the great ability you've shown on the ball at your club side. Grab your stats for the Black Stars and turn up the way you turned up.
Yeah.
That's a shame, right? Osman Bukari came off the bench. I thought he was horrible. He was terrible, really, right? So there are lots of players who, when they wear the Black Stars shirt, I have a feeling they are nervous.
Yeah.
And we saw Thomas Partey at the World Cup. He was nervous. He played very nervous, right? Amate was terrible at the World Cup. This is a guy who at Leicester, before the World Cup, looked like, yeah, he's got it.
But 7 years in the Premier League, you can't be nervous.
But when they wear the national colours, they don't look it. And it's something we're beginning to look past. Listen, I think mentally, a lot of these players struggle when they play for the national team.
Okay.
And I agree with Daniel. You see, and I tweeted something this morning that the day you and Jordan Ayew would take the shield, right? They will shield the rest of the team or the rest of the players.
From all the emotional abuse that they...
But listen, why is it that Partey always gets up? Can somebody remind me the last time Thomas Partey played well in the Black Stars shirt?
2017 against Congo, away from home. He scored a hat-trick.
You've got to go back some 6 years ago. That is unpardonable. For any other player, he's in trouble with the Black Stars. How has he got away with that for all this while?
He's Partey.
Right? How?
Everybody loves him.
Probably. Right? And so players need to step it up. Players need to take that moment and seize it. Listen, you're playing against Madagascar. The great respect to them. They've not won any game. They've got only 1 point. You are Black Stars. Go there. And the team that Chris Hughton started, that team should be able to beat Madagascar. It should be. And the issue about Kudus, I think maybe Kudus wasn't fit I thought maybe he'd have come on earlier if he was free. Might have to ask the question because in the last stretch of the season, Kudus wasn't playing for Ajax. He was injured. He came off injury 2-3 weeks before the season ended. He came off the bench a couple of times for Ajax. So I'm sure maybe fitness-wise, they only gave 15 to 10 minutes. The more reason why they used him at the time, because I'm sure Kudus starts anytime that he plays, right? So we need to start having a discussion about players that all of us as Ghanaians, we've hyped. Now let's give them the chance. Listen, Bukari got a go against Angola, but that was just one move, then he scored. He came on the bench this time, he was poor. Pencil, he didn't go to the World Cup, it would have been different. Football is not about goals and assists. Hey, he should have been there. He gets his opportunity, starts, he was a mess. Dennis Odoi came in the first few games, professor. He's been terrible since Brazil. Since Vinicius gave him the slip, he's been terrible. Nobody says anything about it.
Yeah.
Daniel Amati is not playing well for so long. Even Joseph Edu looks like he doesn't have confidence when he plays for the Black Stars.
Yep.
But at his club side in Celta Vigo, he is playing every single minute against Real Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Sevilla. So when I say that mentally our players are struggling to wear that jersey, I mean it.
You have a point.
I absolutely mean it. I think that we need to start looking at it.
That's the problem.
We need to mentally, these guys are struggling. They really are, because it's like everybody's afraid of that kick.
And you see, it's not just even the Ghanaian players, because this is a conversation I've had with Nigerian journalists who had issues with their own players because of that. They say there's a certain pressure that comes with playing for the Super Eagles or the Black Stars, where the players just can't give up their best. In fact, I did, and I'm sure Daniel is aware of it. I did some academic work on the impact of social media abuse on the players' lives. So I looked at it from three perspectives: their social life, their psychological life, and their professional lives. And one of the key questions I asked in the questionnaire was this: that do you think about the abuse you suffer on social media when you play? 35% of the players who responded said maybe or yes. So in other words, when they are playing, they're afraid to make mistakes, because in the back of their minds, they're already afraid of what would happen if they make mistakes. And that feeds into what you're saying.
Yeah,
if a player is mentally strong, you should be able to show your...
And I have a feeling that most of our players now, the way social media is going, most of them have not been abreast of how to build their character around that. I mean, after this show, when you post our videos, I know I'll get abuse.
Yeah.
I know.
But we don't care.
It's right here, and everybody who knows me on social media knows when you come at me, sometimes if I have time,
that's true,
I'll come back. Yeah. But they need to be able to grow out of the fear.
Yeah.
Right? Because what Ghanaians are asking them to do is not for them to fly as Batman and Superman or Spider-Man.
True.
Ghanaians are asking them to play the way they play for their clubs. Like I'm saying, Salis can't come off the season he had in France and turn up the way he did. Thomas Partey and all of them. Finally, before I wrap up. Nope. Again, finally, the double standards that in commentary around our players has to stop.
Okay.
When Inaki Williams strikes for Ghana, the general conversation is we don't find the right passes for him. Our midfielders are not intelligent. We are not creative. Jordan Ayew yesterday was making all the runs, holding off defenders. But what was the conversation? Yeah, sure. Jordan should not play for the Black Stars.
Yeah.
Why is it that when Jordan is leading the lines and he doesn't get the services as he didn't get yesterday, nobody is confident enough to say that, just like it was for Inaki Williams, Jordan is facing the same problems. But because it's Jordan Ayew, everybody says he's a problem. I think people are not fair.
So we are not consistent with our criticism.
We are not fair.
All right, cool.